The United Nations launched 8 goals ranging from eradicating poverty to improving health, environment sustainability, global partnership, and improving education, all by the target date of 2015. The Millennium Development Goals, also known as MDGs, are a blueprint intended to meet the needs of the world's poorest, which are agreed by world leaders and different institutions.
MDG Goal 2: Achieve Universal Primary Education. According to the World Bank, the total number of out-of-school youth worldwide decreased from 100 million to 58 million, and the global primary completion rate increased from 81% to 92% between 2000 and 2012. However, 58 million children are still out of school.
World Bank supports education through an average of $2.8 billion a year for the poorest countries as well as for the middle-income countries. Through the International Development Association, the bank was able to fund support for primary education for the poorest countries.
The United Nations focuses on Sub-Saharan Africa and Southern Asia for this Millennium Development Goal, as a very large number of out-of-school youth resides in these areas of the world. In the Philippines, out-of-school youth still poses as a serious issue. 1 in every 10 Filipino children and youth is out of school, according to the 2013 Functional Literacy, Education, and Mass Media Survey. This short interview shows how the Philippines is doing for the past 15 years to achieve universal primary education.
Primary education refers to the basic education program. So it starts from the kinder to grade 6, and then it follows by the junior high school program from grade 7 to grade 10, and then for the senior high school program. So for the basic education programs, especially for the elementary students, it's very important because at this point they would be engaged with fundamental skills and concepts that will be used for further learning. So when they will be working or they will be studying for higher learning, parang they will have this prerequisite knowledge. So they would be able to be more engaged with acquisition of skills and talents. It has been evident that the lion's share on national budget has been given to the Department of Education. It's in accordance with the 1987 Constitution, which guarantees the right of education of every Filipino. So, the right of every Filipino to quality basic education is further emphasized in Republic Act 9155 or the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, along with the Republic Act 6655 or Free Secondary Education Act. So these law reaffirm the policy of the state to protect and provide quality learning, quality education for all the students, for all the children and its constituents. As mandated by law, it's a compulsory education to be given for all the Filipino citizens. And now we call it the Republic Act 10533 or the Expanded Basic Education Curriculum. So where, although the MDG ends supposedly in 2015 because that's the target, but the promulgation of the Republic Act 10533 happens in 2011, where the enactment of the Expanded Basic Education Curriculum has worked with the previous Republic Act, working with compulsory education for all the children. The Philippines Declaration is anchoring the education for all in 2000, which affirms also the MDG objectives, gearing reducing poverty, eliminate illiteracy, prevention of discrimination against women, hunger diseases, environmental degradation, and many others. So these goals have been mainstream of the country's medium-term Philippine Development Plan in 2004 and 2010. I don't know if you have heard of this, including the policies and plans related to the children and then access of primary education and gender equality. First is the explicit articulation of the inclusive education policy and substantial increase in budget provision. So that's number 1. 80% of the budget allocation for the Department of Education is being given to the salary of the personnel, of the teachers, and some support staff. That at least portion of it would be given for the development and for the improvement of the materials and some other related factors that would indicate growth in terms of the following factors. So that's the first one. Second is addressing the socioeconomic and geographical and geophysical factors which may also affect the attainment of education for all. So for example, in Visayas and in Mindanao areas, so there are geographical and geophysical constraints so that students would not be able to be sent to school. We have cases that the students should travel for 3 to 4 hours before reaching school. And would you imagine that these students are only at the primary level? So that's the factor. Third, reaching the unreached and underserved group of learners. So we've been focusing for Luzon area, where most of the cities are being established already, or where the area has been established. But for Visayas and Mindanao area, they've been working for this area, and there are unreachable and underserved group of minorities there, like the group of Aitas, Alta, Bisaya, and some other Mangyans, diba, at that area, which are not being a recipient of primary education. So that's why the factors are quite alarming. So the target of, or the attainment of the MDG seem to be a failure for these areas. Community and the succeeding generation, because the education is the trust or the pillar of the development of a country. So definitely, if you'll not provide them quality education, the succeeding generation would face also same scenario or same situation. And of course, Visayas and Mindanao have the lowest. They showed poor performance in terms of the indicators for the goal of the MDG. To be particular are the regions ARMM, 4B, Palawan, Region 11, Davao del Norte, 10, Bukidnon, 12, North Cotabato, 10, Valencia City, 10, again, Lanao del Norte, 9, Zamboanga del Norte, 11, Davao Oriental, 8, Calbayog City, 6, San Carlos, and then 8, Samar, western part, 9, Zamboanga del Sur, 9, Zamboanga Sibugay, 11, Davao del Sur, 7, Negros Oriental, 12, Sarangani, ARMM Maguindanao, ARMM Basilan, ARMM Subo. The Philippines is in compliance of whatever changes that the international arena is giving. No? So that's why there's a reform in terms of the basic education curriculum, because changes are always inevitable. So we keep on facing these changes so that everything would be addressed in accordance to what is relevant, what is phenomenal, and what is necessary for all the learners. So the Philippines has been incorporating several reforms in terms of program and policy making for sustaining quality and relevant education. There may be problems that the Department of Education encountering from the day one of the implementation, but these are all manageable problems. And as far as K-12 is concerned, everything is being everything is on track and properly displays on the objective of the vision and the mission of the and the values of the Department of Education. So the goals are all attainable by the full year or the full time implementation of the K-12.
Although the Department of Education is doing a lot to achieve MDG number 2, the population out of school youth and children are still large. In summary, we can say that Department of Education is putting a lot of efforts to promote primary education here in the Philippines. But not only that, the participation of the citizens of the Philippines is also required to promote primary education here in the Philippines.
Ano ba ang trabaho ng magulang mo?
Nagka-cutics po, tapos po ako po nanlilimos. Kami pong dalawa ng mama ko yung nagdidiskarte pang kain.
Ba't gusto mo pa mag-aral?
Makapag-aral eh. Makatapos po ng pag-aral. Para po mabuti po paglaki ko. Makakakuha po ako ng trabaho.
Anong gusto mong trabaho?
Yung police po.
Mag-police. Okay. Ba't mo gusto mga police?
Para po makatulong po.